Hello, my name's Darcel with Trinity Employment. I am the travel nurse recruiter. I run the division here of travel nursing. And we at Trinity just wanted to talk to you about traveling. Um, our travel contracts is something new for Trinity, but they brought me in to educate because it's very important for a traveler to be educated. There's a lot of nurses out there looking for travel contracts. I tell everyone, never rush into it. Talk to a recruiter who has understanding, who want to build a rapport with you. You want to be comfortable when you get ready to do your first travel contracts. And we're gearing this video, I guess, more to new travelers because a lot of times, we have a lot of travelers out there who's very educated. They could educate me on some things, which they do, which I really appreciate because there's always new things coming down the pike. But as a new traveler venturing out in your first contract, I tell every new traveler to stay in your own state before you venture out. Make sure you have your licensures up to date. Make sure you have all your certifications up to date. What we're going to go through on this third part of a video is 20 questions of what you need to know about travel nursing. Okay, and I'm going to try to explain them the best of my knowledge. I've been doing this almost 20 years, so I love doing it. It's very taxing. I love building a rapport with the nurses. And you need an advocate out there. I mean, as you guys know, in the hospitals, it's my daughters are nurses, so I get it. I hear your story, I hear her stories, and they're similar. So there's no one for you guys to talk to. You can't go to your manager, can't go to your supervisor because it's business, just like my job. It's like you got to get it done no matter what. So you need that advocate, and I'm here for that. 20 things. The first thing, am I under obligation after submitting an application? Answer to that question, and I'm going to be candid and open. No, you're not. Okay? That is not obligation. Only time you see an obligation is when you sign the dotted line, say, I accept this contract. That's why I might tell a nurse, there's so many agencies out there. You fill out an application with us. I want you to fill that application out. Go through the details, go through the interview process, and guess what? An agency maybe that you work with or someone else have a contract that's more money, you're going to run across that. But at the same time, I will tell any nurse, this might pay you more money. Will that recruiter stay with you during that contract? Or will she just drop you and never communicate? I believe in calling my nurses once a week when you first start. Then I start calling you every other week. You want someone to be able to say, how's things going? Just caring. I mean, that's just the old adage. I think you should be very engaged in a traveler, not just leave them out there because you make money out there and you represent a company. So I want to represent you and say, I'm here for you if you ever go through any issues or anything, you want to talk to me. So no, you're not obligated for application. And then are there fees associated with Nurse RX service? No. Matter of fact, I've never even ran across Nurse RX unless you're out there trying to pay them, and you never pay anyone to work with you to get your travel contract. So don't fall into that. It might be out there. I've never heard of it, but it's a possibility. But no, you should never pay any fees to anyone for getting you a travel contract. And then this one, nurses always ask me, can I travel with my family or pets? Okay. I had a nurse last week saying, I want the contract, but I have a cat. Okay, what I would tell her to do, because you get housing allowance, okay? With your housing allowance, you could pay more money or less money. In a hotel, you're going to pay more money, okay? So I always tell my nurses, look at the fact of Airbnb. That would be your cheapest way to go because you could rent a house, Airbnb weekly for maybe $100 to $200 a week, and that's when you ask, can my pet come? Okay, a lot of them will say no, but then you have some that will. Long as they're in a crate or what have you, they will allow it. So that is a possibility. I have had that happen before as well. And number 4, do I have to commit to a long-term contract? Now, it depends on what you mean by long-term contract. Most contracts, they run from 8 weeks, 13 weeks, we do have 26 weeks. So I would say, far as a long-term contract, no, because the majority of the contracts, I don't care where you go with any agency, the longest I've seen is 26. Majority. 26 might happen every now and then, but majority of them are 13 weeks. So that's fill that question for you. How much will I earn? Again, it depends on your specialty. Okay, say like right now we're in COVID. Okay, we're in the COVID crisis. So right now, some nurses are making 4,500 to 5,000 a week. Not here proper in Oklahoma, but say like if you've been watching the news, you know Houston is over the top with COVID. So they're paying their nurses anywhere for 4,500 a week. Okay, so and what that is called is crisis rates. We do have those. I've seen them. We had them even without the COVID. Some states are doing strikes, so they need strike nurses, so they're paying money in that. They had an upsurge of labor and delivery. They might pay crisis rates because they need nurses. So wherever that shortage is, and if it's a large shortage, that's when those rates come to play. So you could, again, looking at crisis rates, you can make more, but in general, depending on your specialty, that's how they send the pay packages out. They're based on your specialty, anywhere from med surge. Med surge, I would say anywhere from 1,700 to 1,900, and then ICU maybe 19 to 2,100. It goes up per your specialty, so it depends on what your specialty is. Okay, I hope that answered that question for you as well. When and how will I get paid? Well, when you get paid weekly. So say if you work this week, you work 36 hours, you should get your first paycheck on next Friday. You get paid every week. And again, that's just the way it is. I just had a nurse, matter of fact, text me today and say, okay, I'm picking up some shifts. When will I have to wait? Do I get paid bi-weekly or weekly? It's always weekly with every agency. If an agency tell you they got to pay you every 2 weeks, I would investigate because it's weekly. That's just the norm. If you have a bank account, when we do your onboarding is what we call all your paperwork to make sure we have your direct deposit, and we ask for a voided check. That way we could ensure that you do not want to come Friday and look in your account and there's no money. So we need a voided check to verify your routing and account number and that your money is deposited in there every Friday. Can I earn a bonus if I refer another nurse? Now, this says Nurse RX. Again, we're not talking about Nurse RX, but if you refer a nurse to us and they get a contract, absolutely you will get a bonus. We will pay you a referral fee. Okay? What benefits? Only benefits that we have is first day insurance. So once you sign the contract and you start work, we send you out paperwork for the insurance. And I tell nurses, a lot of nurses, and I'm just going to be candid here as well, a lot of nurses look to want to bring their whole families. Okay, you're going to do insurance, your son and your husband. Guess what? You know insurance is really ridiculous right now. So that means you're just working to pay for insurance. So what I tell a nurse, because your minimal hourly rate is only $20 an hour. If you have a child or a spouse, I would say you get your insurance for you, and because you're making $20 an hour, you can apply for the Affordable Care Act for your family. And that way you're not paying all, because that's your hourly rate right now. So that is the best route to take. And I hope that's helpful. And I think we could do one more. And I would say, what happens if I have a clinical issue on my job? If you have a clinical issue, we have a person on board here at Trinity. What we call her is our clinical, she's an NP. And what we do is we refer her to you. She calls you, find out what is going on, and she determine at that time what we need to do. So with that being said, I just really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this short video, and I hope if we could help you, please give me a call. My number is 918-622-2588. I'm also give you my cell, which is 918-639-9671. My name is Darcel. I am the travel nurse recruiter for Trinity Employment. Thank you so much.